Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the Online Racing League. It's been a very long time since I've raced with these guys, but they've announced a Maserati Cup, so I thought I'd get myself involved for this series. Sadly, I couldn't make round one. I actually had the final race of the AOR Assetto Corsa Championship, but you know, there is a drop round in this series and everything like that. But yeah, today we're then here in Sebring for race 2 of the championship. Quite looking forward to this one. As you can see, a bit of a different paint scheme to something I usually run. AMS, Alien Motorsport, actually needing, you know, a 9th man. Obviously, teams of 3 overall, and they only had 8 people that wanted to do it, so I thought, you know, yeah, fine, I'll represent those guys, you know, for this one. Obviously, you know, still part of Radicals Online as my actual team, but, you know, it seemed, you know, fun, you know, get setups all sorted out for me, nice paint and everything like that as well, you know, it just seemed nice to, you know, give it a bit of a go, plus, you know, I wanted to do this cup anyway, so hopefully it should be good fun nonetheless here. Through the first couple of corners, then nothing too much really to say from me, but apart from Jacob Bowkett would be sent to Narnia in the simplest of terms. They're very, very unfortunate for him. One of the strongest guys, actually, in this, to see how he fares in this series here. But as we come down in towards the hairpin there, GTR Cami is actually going to give me a nice little punt, you know, certainly one that I'll remember the next time when I'm out there. But yeah, you can see, currently sat in P9 and out of P16. This is obviously a lobby. You know, we've got people like Williams Roadrunner, obviously an X-Force RC champion, something like race with a little bit back in the Delta Lambo Cup. Jota Commando as well, obviously a really, really quick guy who's dominated the Le Mans Esports Series at the moment there. But Cami would get right around the outside there and then unfortunately run off the road very, very soon later there. So we would still be holding on to P9 here. And now we had G-Broscheness Neon. That supposedly it just means broken neon, I think, or something along those lines in German there. But yeah, I'm just going to call it neon for the sake of my own sanity in this race there. He was trying to get up the inside through the next couple of corners there, and we just get stuck together as we come through the next couple of corners. I didn't really want to hang him out wide and almost put him into the wall there as we came through those corners. A nice little punt there from, I think that was AMS Merc. It's a bit difficult. Sorry, Aerox Merc. We've got AMS Mercs and Aerox Merc, so yeah, a little bit difficult with all the names there, but that unfortunately would just settle me out wide there. Give Neon and Cami both a good run down in towards the final couple of corners of the opening lap here, but we are going to try and swing it back around the outside of Cami there. Are we going to be able to make anything work? I think he's got someone up the inside of him as well. Yes, we do. Right around the outside we go through the final couple of corners there, almost running a little bit wide on the exit. We do keep it nice and tidy between the white lines there, and they're almost going full wide down the front straight here. But yeah, this Maserati actually technically I think it's a GT4 car, if I'm not mistaken, but it has got quite a few upgrades on it. I don't know, to be honest. It's supposedly a GT4 car, supposedly it's not. I sort of just guess that it's a Maserati that's not really a GT3 car, not really. It's a GT 3.5 car. Let's go with that for the sake of this video there. But yeah, we will get back at the inside of Neon there as he got all loose through the next couple of corners, but just get a tremendous run on the exit here. It was a bit of a question for a lot of people whether to use traction control or not around this place. There were certainly some places where it was very, very useful, but also a few places at the start, most notably where you probably didn't really want to be using there. It's actually Aerox Bowkett tries to have a look at the inside through the final couple of corners there, and we go 3 wide through the final couple of corners there. Bowkett would get up the inside there. We'd run horribly wide on the exit of the corner there, so AMS Traumatic would be able to get a good run down at the front straight here. Side by side as we come now down in towards turn 1 here, but who is going to back out there? I try to get a good run through the corner there, cut the corner ever so slightly, but it's an interesting line, I'll be honest, from Traumatic there, considering I sort of cut the corner there. He certainly was running waterfall around this place there. Cami would have a sniff up the inside through the next couple of corners there, but we think better of that one there, as now Neon gets all a little bit loose once more here. But yeah, that would mean we're all the way back down to P12 in the first race of the day here. A little bit of contact with Neon there as we come down towards the hairpin here, as he's just trying to get the power down on the exit of the corner once more here. It is 2 roughly 20-minute races for this series, obviously 2 a week, everything all standard like that. It's a very similar format actually to the Delta Lambo Cup that we did a few months back, and obviously that was very, very good fun nonetheless. But yeah, so far so good. Still sat in P12, and you know, ultimately I wasn't really too sure what to expect in this car. There was to go right around the outside of Neon there through the next couple of corners. Yeah, I didn't really know what to expect from myself for this series. Now, it's certainly going to be an interesting one. You know, I wasn't expecting, I hadn't put the same sort of practice in as I had for the Delta Lambos. It certainly is not going to be a series I win unless everyone gets really unlucky with disconnects and everything like that. Yeah, Roadrunner would look like he was going to come through for the first race victory of the evening. A fantastic job by him in the end there. But yeah, like I said, a couple of really big names in this series. We would still be ahead of Neon as we come out of the final couple of corners there. And just look at that, we wanted to try and go defensive there, and that is what we're going to try and do. He had sort of sent me out wide, and I did want to make it very clear that we were going defensive and being a little bit cheeky with the movement across the circuit. Now, I must admit from myself, I didn't actually realise it at the time, but yeah, we have been quite cheeky with that one. And Neon's just going to muscle his way up the inside though, and we just could not get the power down on the exit of the corner there. It's going to be a drag race to the line there, but sadly Neon's just got that a little bit extra right when he needed it there, and that will be us sadly finishing down in P12 in the first race of the evening there. But certainly an interesting test getting back into it there. Roadrunner ahead of Commando there, and quite a few AMS Aerox guys, as you would expect. It was very much just filled up of AMS and Aerox there, obviously with the top, with a couple of the top races as well, right up towards the front of the field there. But race 2 then is obviously a reverse grid race, starting down in P5 for this one. Once again, not getting a particularly good start without, well, with the traction control, sorry, I should say. Spectre and Neon both going to be able to get a good run on myself as we come in towards someone there. Spectre's going to try and go down the inside of pretty much everyone there as we come through the corner. Ballistic's going to squeeze me out to the inside there, and sadly that's not going to give me a good run there. Traumatic gets up the inside, so this has been a horrific start, but it would all just bunch up as we came down towards turn 2 there. That was an absolute mess between quite a lot of the drivers there. We're going to try and get up the inside of Spectre once more here. He squeezed me out over the curbs, and well, he's going to not get the best run on the exit of the corner there. Ballistic, we're trying to get a good run down this next sort of straight sort of knot as we come down in towards the next couple of corners of this lap. And still on the outside of Spectre here, we're going to try and brake late as we possibly dare there. Obviously, we can brake a little bit later where we're not over the curbs there. A bit of side-by-side, and sadly, pretty much somewhere around here, the safety car would be called out, so we would still be holding on to P6 at this stage. Still fighting at the moment, I'll be honest, because, well, it looked like Ballistic was going to try and, you know, sneakily take my position here. But yeah, we would, the safety car, sorry, would be called out, and we would hold on to P6 at this stage of the day here. But hopefully we'll be able to get the race going once again nice and quickly here. We would be going on the exit of the head here. We had Aerox, Nismo, GTR Cami, and I think it was Renta up in the lead of the race. There were Traumatic and Spectre just in front of me. So yeah, we will be lights out, and away we go once more. Actually getting onto a nice clean start there. Ballistic would drop down a few places further down the order there. And now as we skip on to the end of lap 4 here, we'd actually be up to P4 after a couple of drivers had to make pit stops and things like that. They're unfortunate for a couple of guys further up the road there. But now out of the, well, the second to last corner there, we're going to try and go very defensive here, because this race, it's one of those ones where I found myself defending a lot. Now, some people question, you know, why on earth I'm trying to defend these places. Forza, when you actually break it down and, you know, you can sort of think about it consistently, is one of the easiest games in the world to try and defend from relative to other cars. As basically what you got to do is just keep it smooth, keep it consistent. You know, that sounds easy, but it really on Forza, you know, where it is quite an easy game on the whole, it is much easier than trying to do it on other games. So as we come in towards turn 1 there, Roadrunner would give me a nice little punt there. He did apologise for that one, just saying how we break at very different points. But like I said, you know, I've got a car on the outside. I can't exactly try and take my normal line there. Reach would try and get a good run up the inside in towards turn 2 there. A little bit of contact actually made between the power stars. He gets a little bit loose through the corner, and we'll be able to hold on. But yeah, when you break it down, Forza are actually a very easy game to defend on. You know, unless someone's got sort of a good 1 second a lap advantage over you, there's not really a huge amount they can do as long as you keep it consistent and you have got fairly similar setups on the whole. And obviously in a track like Sebring, it's going to be difficult to build something that's, you know, ridiculously different on the whole there. I think we have Roadrunner once again that would dive it up the inside of Ridge there, but sadly we would make a bit of a mistake there. That would really cost me a whole lot of time at the final corner. Roadrunner would get by, Ridge would probably look to get by as well. The Commando would also be looking to try and get around the outside there. Ridge aggressively cuts over the front of myself there, but would not get the run through turn 1 there. It's all getting a little bit sideways there. Bowkit gets up the inside. We're almost going to be 3 wide in towards the next couple of corners there, and just got a little bit of contact made between Bowkit and Ridge there. Commando would get up around the outside of myself there. Even more contact being made between Ridge and Commando there, and everyone's just having a bit of a mess there. And just look at this, everyone's going to get caught out there, and well, I'm going to be able to get back around the outside of near enough all of these guys there. Bowkit and Roadrunner would be able to hold on there, but now we're going side by side with Commando here, arguably the quickest guy on Forza at the moment here, and he would get back up the inside through the next couple of corners here. Side by side we go down out of the hairpin here. And yeah, a little bit of trading paint going on between the pair of us here. But obviously this is Forza. You can really get away with quite a bit of it, obviously, as long as you're doing quite sensibly on the whole there. Side by side, and I think Commando here was going to try and hang me out to dry through this next corner there. But, you know, I was not willing to let that happen. You know, we were still wheel to wheel, side by side there. And yeah, he'd make a little bit of a mistake on the exit of the corner there, and that would be me hold on to P6 there. No idea what happened to Ridge there. He'd just get caught out over the front of Commando there. Mellish would send it up the inside of Commando there and just completely send him out to Narnia. And now that would give us a little bit of a window that we desperately needed here. Onto the end of lap 10, and no idea what happened between Roadrunner and Bowkit there, but they were both in hysterics over that one because, well, it was an absolute mess between the pair of them. So we would now move back up into P4 of this race. Through the final couple of corners though, and Mellish would be all over the back of me here. We're going to try and go nice and defensive once more, you know, commit to that inside line here, and Mellish is going to try and go the long way around in towards the final couple of corners of this race. We get to move a little bit back over to the racing line once more here. Try to break nice and tightly here, you know, keep it parked on the apex here, because obviously Neon was able to get up the inside last time around, but sadly, no matter which way around we went about it, someone would be able to jump me right at the end there, and we would drop down to P5 behind Mellish at the end of the day there. But yeah, two very, very exciting races on the whole. Lots of action from the second round of this series here at Sebring. Next time out, we'll actually be at Long Beach, so quite excited for that one as well. Obviously not a track that particularly suits me, but still, hopefully should be a nice, good race nonetheless there. But yeah, that has been it from me for this video. You can see Traumatic ahead of Spectre, Renter, Mellish, myself, Tico, Merc, Commando, Ballistic, Kempachi, Neon, and Mercs would finish down in P12 there. Sadly, you know, there's no real way of knowing where I am in the points, obviously with the drop round and everything like that. But yeah, that has been it from me for this one. Hopefully, if you guys are new around here, get yourself subscribed for more Forza Motorsport 7 content. Plenty more coming from the channel over the coming weeks. But yeah, that has been it from me for this one, and hopefully I will see you guys next time out at Long Beach.